now tuned into the greatest.
And then a couple more. Oh my goodness. Ran out of ramen. Can you just believe that? Like
that's amazing.
I ran out.
That's perfect.
That's 35
perfect.
servings.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck? It's crazy. Crazy.
What do you think caused the
one
surge?
other thing.
What do you think caused the surge?
Well, a lot of my my brother brought his friends. Some of my old workers came over and they brought their friends. I got some feedback with some people on TikTok. Actually, it's like, hey, I know so and so. They told me here. I was like, oh my god, that's the most amazing thing ever. Here's a bowl. I gave them fucking free side. I gave them an extra egg. Shit like that. But I was just like, am I gonna run out of ramen? I was like, what is going on? I didn't order anything for this, for this week. I just ordered for Thursday. This time 2 cases. I'm like, we're gonna do 2 cases this time. Yeah. So we'll see. And then the pork. So here's where it kind of like just went bananas. Around 12:30, somebody called us like, hey, I'm ordering something for pickup, a big order. I was like, okay, cool. Like 3 bowls or some shit. He goes, no, it's gonna be 11 bowls. I'm gonna pick it up in about half an hour. I was like, what? So yeah, 11 bowls of ramen. I'll put it in right now and just don't, I'll pick it up in half an hour. I was like, okay, I'm counting the portions. I'm like, oh shit, I think I'm gonna run out of pork. And I should have fired the other belly right there. That way by 4 p.m. I would add at least a chance to rest it and then slice into it. I started that shit late, so I ran out. That's what it was.
Yeah, but you know what? Like now and you can adjust for next time. That's what it's all going to be. There's no point in like crying about it or like being, like, dude, it shit happens, bro. And it's like, unfortunately, it's like, what I realize is like, it's not like this situation is not going to matter to you in 5 years. You just need to get through it and make sure you make the right decisions, man. And like, the thing is failing is good. Failure is good, man. It's a lesson.
Oh, it's great.
And
it's amazing.
Listen, I'll be honest, man. If I were you, I would take the belly. Okay, you roasting it because I saw how you were doing it. You know what I would do? I would almost make like a porchetta type deal, but raise it like sous vide and then roast it off in the oven. Like to order. So you have the sous vide portions, dude. They last forever if they're in vacuum. Forever.
Bro, let me share with you the secret. So this one it's a half braised prep. So 3 hours in cover, half soy, half vinegar, and like water to cover. And then after 3 hours, you unfold it and you flip all the belly this way, the skin side up, and you have to take the fat out. That's like the most important thing. And then just let that render down. To service, the same confit of the fat that you have that goes in the pan with the pork, just to heat up. That's it. It's like the most tender fucking thing that people can't get. Like when Brendan came in pizzas, he's like, why is this so soft? What did you do to it? I'm like, it's confit right there. Yeah. So that's the trick. So for everybody who want to replicate it, you can try it, but good luck. Good luck trying to do it. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, that's funny, man.
Chicken too, same exact thing. It's confit. I use the pork fat because there's a lot of fat on the fucking belly. Yeah. Same preparation. It sits there in heat, blipping at like 120.
And I'm sure
ready for service.
You'll probably optimize a little bit better when you start getting busier too, because right now you ain't that busy.
Oh yeah,
you start getting busy.
I'm not that busy right now.
Yeah. Once you
can you imagine start getting like 30 bowls, 40 bowls? I'm like
yeah,
excuse me.
But like it literally takes you less than 30 seconds to create a bowl, right? You drop the noodles.
Oh yeah.
You drop the noodles.
I'm waiting for noodles. I'm literally waiting for noodles.
Yeah, like
the setup is
order. Yeah, once you get the order, you drop the noodles. Yeah, like drop the noodles, boom, boom, boom. Then you set up the bowl. But I saw you put the tare after. You don't put it in the bottom of the bowl?
Oh no, that was just for video's sake, so you can see it. Okay, because the bowl is black. Otherwise, you wouldn't see the video. Okay. But it goes into the bowl first. Yeah, it goes into the bowl first with all the fixings, and then you put the broth over so it can mix. But for video's sake, we put the tare on top.
Yeah. That's dope, dude. You know what you should do? You should do a series on different types of ramen for your TikTok. Oh, can we talk about how you got banned, dog? Can we talk about how you got banned? Son?
Okay, so can we just talk about this? So I think
what personal information were you sharing?
I was sharing my personal like records. Like you can see my business name, like where it is, etc. But I'm like, it's the restaurant. It's fine. They're like, per community guidelines, personal information like that, you cannot share it at all, even though you're technically fine. So I couldn't
You were
show
sharing personal information about the business?
the restaurant. Yeah, I was doing the P&Ls. I was like, hey, this is how we do it. I was sharing the web app that I'm using to optimize it. It's like, this is what we did to order, blah, blah. This gets categorized like this. And then literally, boom, banned like that.
Yeah.
Not even 20 minutes.
Yeah. I think because when you try to promote business on TikTok, if they don't have their hand in the pot, they're smart. Listen, they're smart. A lot of people,
You're right.
Like, listen, I've been in TikTok jail for saying link in my bio, or in a video I've said check out the link in my bio, or follow me on Instagram. They flag any types of words like that.
Yeah, they don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just have to be mindful. So that was, I'm banned. I get my account under review tomorrow one more time. Just make sure everything is crossed out, and then I either get it Saturday or Sunday, one of the 2 days.
Yeah, hopefully, I would just, listen, it's really tough because sometimes it's a bot that will ban it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like an actual.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's all robot. It's all what is it? IE, right? What is it? Shit,
or whatever. AI, you mean?
AI, yeah. It's all AI. It's not, it's nothing to do with like, it's not a person
AI.
behind the screen. Like, people need to understand that. Like, my videos get to, that's why I don't have my kids in my fucking videos anymore, man. It's just like, my kid walks around with no shirt and no pants on. So like, it's just like, dude, anytime there's a kid voice or anytime, like, dude, my shit gets banned. I don't know why. I don't even know why. Like, sometimes it won't even be like, it has to be just their face. Like, it has to be just their face, and they have to be in a happy mood. But I have no idea why.
No, I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you. So instead of me saying go link in my bio, whatever, I embed it in the video. So if you notice the ramen stuff, it's literally at the end, just my name. I didn't say anything. It's literally there.
Yeah. Are you still doing IG, or no? You barely on IG?
So I'm doing it both now because apparently marketing is on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
So I refired my old Facebook account. I've been looking at classes how to market. I feel like it's just over my head right now because I'm trying to consume so much info.
I would highly recommend to outsource that. So just to give you an example, my brother, he outsourced his social media shit, like in advertising. So if you go to his account, it's like he does none of that. But that comes with a cost, right? Everything comes with a cost. So I think the best idea is try to learn how to do it by yourself at first. Then once you know what to do, outsource it, because it's too much, man. You need to focus on building the brand, building the
I just need to build the stuff. Like, I don't want to.
But I'll be honest, man, social media marketing is huge, my guy. Is huge.
Yeah.
Like,
and you know what I found out last night?
What?
Like, I tagged you on a text through Square, because I'm using a Square platform, right? Mm-hmm. It can connect to TikTok, like the business side. Oh. So I'm gonna activate the business when I get the other account. I'm gonna turn it into a sole business. And then it will link it through. Yeah, it will link it through. And then I'll do ads on TikTok, because I know how to do TikTok, because we've been at it for quite a bit. I just don't know how to do Facebook or Insta right now, but I fired it anyway. It is what it is.
In all honesty, Facebook is fucking dying, bro. It's dying by the day.
Yeah.
Like, I literally don't know if I would waste any time on Facebook. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I just the newer generation, like, it's not worth it, because we all know that Facebook is a dying platform, and they said it themselves. They're transitioning into the metaverse bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then
it's under metaverse right now. Yeah.
And
I was like, what's metaverse again?
Yeah, and just know that IG is becoming more of a social media e-commerce platform. Where where you need to have things to sell in your bio, and that's why I got to work diligently on to sell some shit. They've been promoting that, so.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, we'll see.
I didn't even know I didn't even know I was getting paid off of IG Reels. So Reels is paying bonuses.
Are you?
Crazy. Yeah, dude. Didn't even fucking know, man. Dude, I swear to God, I've already made like somewhere around $800 off of posting IG Reels. Yeah. It's crazy.
Damn.
They're trying to compete with TikTok, but it's never going to happen, man. TikTok is its own fucking game where, it's opposite of IG. What people don't realize is you have 97%. you have 97% of people on TikTok consuming content
Yeah.
compared to creating content. Where on IG, it's the complete opposite. People are not consuming, they are creating. They think, like, and it's crazy because, like, the world is changing, man. That's why I think YouTube is going to be a forever platform, and the bag on YouTube is ridiculous, man. I just saw one of my buddies' analytics, like, dog, he is making bank, dog. We're talking about like 16 grand a month. Okay. Like,
fuck out of here.
Yes. And the problem, the thing is what people don't realize is YouTube is becoming the TV network. And it still has time. We still have
like, it's its own thing, man.
YouTube is going to continue to swallow up the motherfucking world. Like, when you need to learn how to do something, what do?
YouTube. It's a search engine. It's literally a search engine.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Do you go for written instructions, or do you watch a fucking YouTube video on it? No, you watch.
I want a fucking video. Show me, like, where am I fucking doing this? Blah blah. So someone does it at some point.
So for everybody that is, I've got some exciting news, man. I've been working behind the scenes on this project, man, and it's fucking gonna come to light here pretty soon. I'm probably gonna post my first video on Friday, but the Chef Authorized Pro, and basically, yeah. So Casey, I'm good with talking about this because it's gonna be a good thing. But basically, let's get into it because I want to get your point of view, and maybe you can assist.
Okay.
Every time I post videos, like, let's say if I'm baking bread or if I'm cooking, if I'm making something, or if it's an advanced technique, ever since I've been posting Granda videos, everybody's asking me about certain things. And I just feel bad as a chef, like, putting the cart before the horse, right? Like, there's people that are watching the video like, I have no idea what he's talking about. Then they click off, right? Or I don't have enough time to respond to people, to young cooks that are actually asking questions. So I am making a series on the beginning basics of becoming a chef. Like, I'm talking,
there we go,
super beginning, knife identification. This is the handle. This is the bolster. This is the blade edge. This, like, hey, this is health and sanitation. And just a shout out, because I don't want to get in trouble, but The Professional Chef, this is the book I'm using, because I think it's really important. Like, I think it's really important when you're teaching, you need to teach from literature. And let me explain why. It's because if I'm just giving my opinion on everything and I'm not reading directly from a book, it's like, it's not really justified. Like, allow me to elaborate. First of all, I'm going to cut out all the bullshit that we don't need to know in The Professional Chef. Like, and no, you don't need to pay $140,000 to go to culinary school. Look, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be in a restaurant or be a chef.
Yeah.
And I'm reading straight from the book, and some things I agree with and some things I don't, but I elaborate on it. And I think it's really important for the person that is just starting, right? Like, what was something for me that, like, kind of was embarrassing to start when I walked into a kitchen and I had a little prep experience, but I didn't know what anything was. Like, I didn't know what a chinois was.
Oh.
I didn't know what
I feel you.
I did not know what a slotted spoon was. Right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I've been there.
Yeah.
Well, I still remember my first kitchen job. I was a dishwasher, and they're like, "Hey, can you get a knife pan?"
Yeah.
What's that? Small, big, medium? They're like, yeah, the one. It's knife pan because 9 fits into a pan. I was like, but what pan? Like, this is a hotel pan. Yo, my fucking brain went, what?
Yes.
There's things for these. There's Cambros. There's the clear ones. Oh my God.
So
nuts.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the Cambros. I was just going over, like, I want to do a whole video dedicated to deli cups and Cambros and to-go containers. Because I think it's imperative, man. And but anyway, I did that too. So I don't have any 9 pans or 6 pans at the house, but I have a hotel pan. And I was explaining, like, hey, I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what a strainer was. I didn't know what a ladle was, bro. I was so embarrassed when the chef said, hey, grab me a 2-ounce ladle.
I feel that so hard right now.
Right?
I know.
Grab me.
I know the feeling.
Grab me a 2-ounce ladle. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then you have to swallow your pride. You have to go and ask a cook, right? Or you have to go and ask somebody.
Yeah.
And I didn't really get to all the handheld tools, but I got the majority of them. And then I know I missed a couple, but I think it's really important to have that basic knowledge, like, before you walk in a kitchen, so you don't waste your time and you don't waste anybody else's time, because nobody took the time to show me what a 6-pan or a 9-pan was, or, like, hey, a fucking Cambro, or how to measure, how to measure the difference between grams and ounces and tablespoons and
Yeah.
dude, it's so embarrassing. But yeah, so anyway, I'm starting on that, and then also proper sanitation and foodborne illness and health department and stuff like that. I think that's really
Yeah.
important as well. Like a lot of people that are cooking at their house, like I'm not gonna lie, like no, the health department is never gonna come into your house, but you should always practice
Correct.
good hygiene and clean.
You should know it.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, yeah. So it's funny.
100%.
Yeah, so it's funny because I was making I don't know what I was making the other day, but I was making something, and my little kid, like, he pulled the spatula out of the mixing bowl and he took a bite. He took a lick. He licked it, right?
Got it.
And
Got it.
and then put it right back, right? Like, and I'm just like, as a chef, your skin crawls, right? Because I've seen people
Yeah.
do this I've seen some people do this in the kitchen before, where like they lick the spatula before they put it in the dishwasher, or whatever, like,
Uh-huh.
especially in pastry. And the thing is it's just not acceptable, like if you're gonna do that, you need to scrape it off with your finger first, not your mouth.
Yeah.
Like use your
Yeah.
finger, use a glove, like do that. I don't want to see it. Like be discreet, but to lick the fucking spatula that is used by the community is, it's nah, bro. And then the thing is a lot of people do that at their house. So and like I'm not the one to say like you don't do that at your house. I'm the one to say like
Yeah.
if you're cooking for other people, that is not a proper practice. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
right, there's a difference, man, when you're cooking at home. And I think that's the biggest thing with like creating content on the internet. Like when you're a chef creating content, like these people, some people just don't get it. They're like associating with cooking at their house, like what their mom's making them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the one thing I want to talk
Different
about
process.
the one thing I want to talk about in this podcast, which I think is really big, like there was this one girl, I don't know, the video is viral, but she was eating pho, and like she was dipping the noodles in the broth. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of pouring the broth over the
Got it.
noodles.
Got it.
You saw
Mhm.
that video? You see it?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
like I wanted to kind of like touch on this because so for the viewers and anybody who's watching, basically, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna shoot it straight, okay? There's this white girl who is ordered pho, and she basically doesn't know how to eat it properly, so she's breaking up the rice noodles and she's dipping them into the broth, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is so good," blah
Mhm.
blah blah. But then the problem is like the comments come and they're like, people are
Yeah.
offended.
And they're like,
And
we know, do
the
this.
thing, my problem is not in the fact that she's doing it wrong, but but she literally says in her comments like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah.
know." And she's constantly apologizing, right? And I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
know what, like, and then people are just attacking, and then you have some people defending her. And what I
Yeah.
want to say, and what I want to drive home in is, probably gonna make a video on it, because there's this one person who is, he made a response video, and he's like, "That's just ignorant. I can't believe you wouldn't Google it
Uh-huh.
first, blah blah blah." And I'm just like, you know what? No, this is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
first
It's
of
a
all,
little much.
people can do whatever they want in their own house. That's number one. But
Yeah.
second of all, she wasn't being rude, or she wasn't being
Yeah.
like aggressive. She was like, I think that's the problem. Like when somebody doesn't know something, it's not right to just bash them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Correct.
Instead, you should make a video showing the right way, and then we all move on with our life. That's it, dude.
Yeah.
Be the bigger person. You get the hate instead of that person. And so the
Yeah.
thing is, I'll be very honest. Like as an American, right? We, especially in the kitchen, we deal with a lot of people that aren't American, right? You can be honest. Like
Mhm.
there's a bunch of Latinos, bunch of Asians, bunch of, when I was in Florida, it was all about the Haitians, right? And guess what? They do things
Yeah. Oh, love
differently, or
Asians.
sometimes they don't know the American name, but
Mhm.
like if they pronounce pasta wrong, or if they pronounce an egg wrong, or if they pronounce something wrong, like I'm not gonna fucking say, "Hey, that's not the right way to say
Yeah.
it."
Correct.
You just say, "Hey, listen, this is how we say it in America." You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say the American way is the best, right? Because it's not, bro. I'm embarrassed sometimes to be a goddamn American, bro. Like, yo, but I love it. Another good example is when I was working at Steakhouse. I'm not going to lie. There was this group that didn't speak any English, right? You could tell they just came to
Sure.
America, right? And
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'm assuming they're Chinese. They were Chinese, just because of their dialect. But at a
Mhm.
steakhouse, they pulled out chopsticks from their bag to eat the
Yeah. Yeah.
vegetables.
Yeah.
You know, the thought of using a fork was just very foreign to them, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it was like but here's the thing: as Americans at a steakhouse, if you pull out chopsticks, it's kind of weird, right? We're like, you
it's a little
you
weird.
use a knife and a fork. It's fucking weird. But the thing is like the server kind of made a joke about it, and I was like, hey, bro, like they can eat the steak however the fuck they want. They paid for it. They paid for
exactly.
it. And he's like, you know what, chef, you're right. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be like racist or anything. I thought it was funny. And I'm like, yeah, you think it's funny, but think about how uncomfortable they are. They can't even communicate properly with you. They're probably in a compromised position because they can't communicate effectively. Like they're just pointing at the menu. They just want to enjoy their time.
Yeah.
And I think other people should have the same respect, right? Like,
yo, can we talk about that? Like I think I mentioned this to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like if they buy stuff from me, right? If they eat it some other way, I don't care. You pay. This is you. Go do with it as you will. It's your food. Okay. If you want to eat it with your hands, cool. Not my problem. Not my issue.
Great point. How about slurping the ramen?
Yeah, that too. It's just like,
this
bro, if you want to slurp, cool.
In America, this is frowned upon.
If not, that's okay.
That's what I'm saying. No. This is frowned upon in America. And what I'm telling everybody right now is if you do not slurp the noodles, it is disrespect in Japan. And it is.
Yeah. If you're on the other side.
Slurp, the louder the slurp, right? This is what I was taught when I went to actually slurping ramen in Los Angeles. First of all, LA has arguably some of the best ramen
I know.
in the States, okay? Listen, I'll Casey, if you ever come out here, bro, I'm telling you, we going to fucking Los Angeles.
Hell yeah.
San Francisco has good ramen, but I'm gonna say LA just has so much more variety in Silver Lake ramen, slurping ramen. There's just so many, dude. Like I'm talking like handmade noodle. It depends on what you want. If you're looking for the broth, the noodles, or the meat, like you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, getting back to it, slurping the noodles. One, it cools them down as you're eating them, and then also it's a sign of respect that it's delicious. It is totally acceptable in Japan, 100%. Actually, they look at you weird if you're not slurping. And it's funny because my wife was the opposite. We went to go eat ramen, and she's like, "Why are you slurping your noodles like that?" She's like, "That's embarrassing me." And I'm like, "Hey, just
why you do?"
And here's another thing. My kid, who is, he was, I don't know, 3 or 4 at the time, he wanted no broth with his noodles. You know why? Because he's a fucking child. Okay?
Yeah.
He's a fucking child.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay. Listen, did they look at me weird? No. Okay, so I know ramen is 2 things. It's broth and noodles, but guess what? He's a fucking kid. No, he doesn't want any scallions and he just wants the noodles. That should not be a crime. So if people order their food modified, if they go to Steakhouse and order chicken, it's fine, dude. Fuck you. They want to have whatever they want to have. And I'm 100%. I'm getting so irritated with people coming on here like, oh, this is not proper tiramisu. This is not how you make apple pie. Listen, I just recently posted a video of the cookie. I'm not going to say the name.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say the name. But I just posted a video of a cookie. And I didn't post the name just to be clear. And it's funny because guess what? That's how that comment section ended up.
Exactly.
But I didn't say that because here's the thing. I am not from Sweden and I'm not from Europe, right? I'm an American that ate a Rip Van Winkle cookie. And I'm like, dude, I want to recreate this. This would be great. But the one that I made came out really crispy. And I know these cookies aren't crispy, but I didn't for 1 second say what it was supposed to be. So if you want to know what it is, hey, go look at my previous video with
go look at his video.
And I did this on purpose because it's like, you know what? I don't want to fight with people that, oh, that's not this cookie. And it's funny because in my comment section, I said, yeah, you're right. It's not. And I just agree because dude, I got to move on with my life, bro. It's just like me. Think about this. Think about how crazy this is. If I see somebody making a peanut butter and jelly and they decide to, use crunchy peanut butter, you know what I'm saying? Or let's say they decide to put peanut butter and jelly on a French baguette, right? I'd be like, hey man, that's not a peanut butter and jelly. That's not a real peanut butter and jelly. Come on,
who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
I understand your nona used to make shit back in the day, but it's like, yo, if somebody wants to make whatever they make, they shouldn't be bombarded with hate, And I've dealt with this so many times as an American chef, you know what I'm saying? Okay, here's a good example. I was making coq au vin, the classic French dish,
the
right?
French, yeah.
Yeah, and I used regular chicken instead of the rooster, right? You're supposed to use the rooster.
Yeah, the rooster.
This is the tradition, whatever. And I'm like, all right, okay, chef, go give me the fucking rooster then. How about that? Come on, go give me a rooster.
Please,
Yeah, because
give it to me.
I'll
And
never
okay.
forget it. I was at the Breakers Resort. I was in L'Escalier. I was making the coq au vin dish. We had to create another one. And the French, now he wasn't a sous chef at the time, but he was a French guy, super French. And he's like,
Of
this
course.
is not real. He's like, this is not real coq au vin. You need to use the rooster. I was like, okay, great. I pulled that shit off the stove and I said, go get me a rooster then. Go get me a rooster. Go get me a rooster or shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Straight up.
Really
like,
restarted it.
I'm like, hey, go get it. He's like, well, I'm just telling you the way it's supposed to be. I'm like, no. Go get me a rooster. And then I told the chef, I'm like, hey, chef, he's going to show us how to make coq au vin. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is what's going to happen.
Yes.
He's like,
everybody watch. Come here.
He's like, hey, I don't care. He's like, I don't care what you do as long as I have it by service. I'm like, yeah, okay, go give me a rooster, Christoph. Go give me a fucking rooster, bro. Stop fucking around. Let's go. So anybody who's out there, if you want to comment on something that's not right or something that is, it offends you, bro, please make a video and educate properly. Okay. Say, hey, this is not traditional tiramisu. Let me show you how my grandmother used to make it. Even though there's nothing wrong with the way you made it, you can do whatever you want. Let me show you the traditional recipe. Right?
Yeah.
That's
correct.
What we need to promote. Right? Like, listen.
I know.
If I swear to God, Casey, if you ever see me make a video, say, hey, that's not how you make a burger. Okay. That's not how you make a burger. Let me show you how to make a burger.
I will call you. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you right now?
Like, man, like, come on, bro. Like, I'll be honest, man. Like, that shit is getting me hyped up, my guy. Because as a chef, I love to create new dishes and I love to create different things. And, it doesn't matter whether it's a taco or a birria or like, it doesn't matter. Like, people always throw that hate, and I understand. But for the love of God, stitch it, duet it, show us your way, or else that comment is irrelevant to me.
It's gone. Yeah, not even. Can we so really quick, I want to expand on it. So the onion video that's sort of kind of blowing up on my other account. I purposely did that for satire, right? I know you know this, and a lot of people know this. I've cut onions a plethora of ways, okay? Yeah. But I wanted to generate kind of like a response. However, I do see people do it the other way. They would do vertical and then they would slice over. If you think about it, you're then having to scrunch the thing and slice it over. You have more of a tendency to slice your hand, pretty much, if you do it that way, right? But I also know that if you cut it on the root end down, since the onion already has horizontal slices, you don't technically need to do horizontal. I know it. I'm just doing it for purpose. So all the haters, I don't want to say haters, all the people that are saying that's not how you do it, I'm okay, make a video. Yeah, literally, that's the only reply. Make a video. Show me.
You can agree.
Show me the way.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't disagree with you on that, actually. I think, there's so many different ways you can cut an onion. Whatever works for you is the best, but it's super subjective, right?
Yeah.
So you could have an opinion.
Correct.
I have an opinion. I'll be honest, Casey, depending on what I'm prepping, I don't even do the horizontal cuts.
Yeah, 100%.
Usually,
bro,
it's just the
if I'm processing like a fuck ton, it goes into Roboku for me. I swear, Brandon, when we're doing the onion soup. Oh my God, am I having a drama? Anyway, I don't want to process all that. I just throw it in Roboku. Just let it go. It depends it's all gonna get sweated down anyway.
I'll only do a RoboCoupe if I'm going to use it immediately. So anybody out there, for anytime I'm cutting mostly veg, 90% veg, do yourself a favor. You want to use it within the moment. That is the ideal time.
Yeah.
Once you cut that onion, once you cut that garlic, try to use it. Unless you're on a busy station and you need a 9th pan of garlic chopped. Yeah, I got you, bro. We're not going to waste any fucking time. But I'll be honest. I realize that you're capturing the best flavor. So here's a good example. We used to make bolognese for a huge batch. And we would prep the veg 2 to 3 days in advance. Like before, when we started running low, we would start cutting the vegetables. Right now, I will argue
it's pre-cut already, and then you just toss.
Carrots are fine. Celery is fine. You're not going to really lose that much flavor. But onions and garlic, I would argue that you want to do it as close to production as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Any allium, scallion.
Most of the alliums, it has to be within. It has to be within a day. Correct.
To really capture the aroma and the nice flavor of the onions, even though you're cooking it, When you cook onions, when you cut onions 2-3 days in advance, they don't have the same flavor.
Yeah.
Like they just don't. They
They
almost
lose
start
it.
fermenting really because of the sugar content. But we don't have to get into that deep nitty gritty. But anytime you're going to post an onion video or how-to video, there's always going to be kickback, feedback,
Always,
negative comments.
always.
But in all honesty,
yeah.
like, here's the thing. It really depends on how you learned. And, as a chef, I got to be honest, it depends on what I'm using. Here's a good example. I could also come back and say, no, that's subjective. It depends on what you're using it for, right? For a cold dish, if I want a perfect dice, I'm removing the individual layers. I'm not using the core.
Yep.
Right?
100%.
If I'm making, let's say if I'm making a, I don't know.
If you're doing like a julienne, I would remove the core too. Do it the other way, nice and layered out.
Yeah. Let's say
nice and thin.
And don't worry, I'm going to do a YouTube video on this, but let's say for like Pico de Gallo, right? Pico de Gallo. If you're making if you're making a 600 pan of Pico de Gallo, I'm not going to waste time doing the vertical and the horizontal cuts. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the vertical cuts. I'm going to do them curved so it follows the onion, and then I'm going straight in.
Follows the onion, and then going straight. 100%. So 100%.
Yeah.
Don't got time for that.
For something that requires a little bit more precision for knife work, then I'll do the vertical and horizontal cuts. So like a good example is like if I'm sauteing some type of veg and I need like almost like good looking squares, then I completely agree with you. Right now, we can all agree that sometimes, we're just going and we're in the moment and we, make the vertical cuts first, right? Like by accident, like, like, oh, fuck,
it's like whatever.
But yeah, I agree with you. Then you have to scrunch it up. But like, for the most part, it's all these topics are subjective. So fun fact, Google Foods, we are now friends now. It's amazing. He's a really good person.
Nice.
We were going back and forth about sous vide technique. And it's funny because I showed him so I have a tattoo right here. It says sous vide.
Yeah, the sous vide. Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, man. Like it really changed the way I cook proteins and blah, blah, blah. And we were discussing the amount of people that emailed him about the 149 cook temperature.
Oh, the one that you were mentioning. Got it.
This was huge. This was like, bro, people were freaking out because honestly, they just don't understand.
Yeah.
People are thinking like, no, that's well done. That's this. I'm like, no, the water bath is 149. You shorten the cooking time then to get to the internal temperature that you want, right?
Yeah.
And so Google was like, oh man, I see this. And I'm like, hey, listen, I got to be honest. I can't take, and now everybody on here, I can't take credit for this technique. Okay. I did not invent this technique. This is not my technique. This was actually developed by the Roca brothers. They have a book. It's called Sous Vide Cuisine. It's a Spanish book. And, they argue that the best temperature for actually cooking the proteins in the meat to mimic the grilled or the sauteed flavor is 149 degrees. This is the sweet spot. And so we did a test. We took 4 New Yorks. We cooked one at 120. We cooked one at 135. We cooked one at 145 and 149. And basically what we realized is not only do you get a faster product. So a good example is like if you're at your house, you can turn the circulator on to 135 and you can wait the hour and a half. You could do it in advance.
Yeah.
In a restaurant, you don't have that opportunity.
No.
Right. So if somebody orders a New York steak, they're not going to wait an hour and a half, my guy. So you have to end up pre-cooking it. But what we realized is when we first started cooking sous vide and serving sous vide, a lot of people were very taken aback by the texture and the flavor.
By the texture. Right?
Exactly. And so we also needed to shorten the cook because we were sandbagging everything because we didn't know what we were doing. This was 2009, 2010. Yeah. And so finally we got this book and we were reading it and we're like going back and forth and we did a bunch of temperatures. And I'll be honest, out of my 12 plus years of cooking sous vide, I always stuck with that temperature, 145 to 149. Yeah. And shorten the cooking time because you actually generate enough heat to get the juice flowing, right?
Yeah.
And now I will argue that I've cooked steaks at 135. Like if I'm doing a big party, a big event, right?
Yeah. You don't got time to baby it. Just throw it all down. Yeah. Literally.
Bro, get it all in.
Don't got time for it.
The benefit about doing it at that low temperature is that it won't necessarily overcook. Do you know what I'm saying? So like if I leave a steak in the bath at 149 degrees Fahrenheit, you have a window of time before it gets to mid-well, bro. Like you just
yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, I told Google I don't even use the sous vide machine because I have combis at work. I just set the combi to
Yeah.
one
Must be
to
nice.
145.
Brandon, must be
Yeah.
nice.
I set the combi to
Combis are
185,
so cool.
149. Yeah, 149, 145. Dude, I've even hot held. So I'll cook sous vide at 145 and then drop it down to 105 degrees. So it's like body temperature.
Mm,
And
yep.
just let it. Don't even.
And
Like,
it's perfect.
I don't even have to remove it. I don't even have to remove it from the oven. Just keep it because it's perfect. Dude, these combi ovens are great. And so but he made it anyway. He made a video on it, and we talked about it, and it was great. And I'm really curious to see how it's going to come out. And again, it's subjective. It's like I think
Very
in
subjective.
the restaurant. Yeah, I think in the restaurant it's great because like you have control over that. That cooking time, right? So and plus Chef Steps also says this as well. Like increase the temperature, reduce the time. That's how simple it is, right? With sous vide. So I think that was really important. But anyway, I can't wait to collab. I need to start collabing more, man. Like,
Yeah, you really do. You need to get out here.
Yeah, he's in Miami, Florida, but there's so many creators I got to collab with, man. I'm like slacking.
Yeah,
but it's all good.
And you know what it is too. But at least you have the perspective. I think that's what's missing, though. Since you and I think that way, and I think that's what I want to impart more to anything. Like I know most of my stuff is satire, right? And I know people get that, but for the people that don't, just have an open mind. That's all we're asking. How about, have you thought it this way? It's not just always this way. How about this way? Let's try it. Let's sample it,
It's not or, it's and, right? Like it's
correct.
Not,
oh my God. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
But like, I think that's why we vibe so well, Casey, because like, we might not agree on things, but like the thing is like, I think what's really important and what people need to realize is, there's not a set in stone way to do things. Right. But
100%.
I will be honest, as Chef Authorized and the Chef Authorized brand, like my goal in life, man, is to make sure that the young cook has the proper way of like moving on along in their career, where like a good example is like, I'll just reference that Chipotle video where the guy was cutting unsafely, right? Like he was cutting, I don't know if you saw that, but he was cutting like with his fingers.
I think it was like this way. Like this or something like that.
Yeah. And I'm like, listen, hey, I'm not bashing him, right? I'm not bashing him. But I was like, hey, listen, it's okay. Like, this is not your fault. Nobody taught you how to, use to cut properly. And with me saying like, hey, there's plenty of ways to cut the onion. And I know he didn't ask, but what about that cook that does do that and chops his finger off?
Or exactly. That's the other purpose too, right?
You know why? Because
you have to think about it,
dude. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Casey, I know you've seen people cut their finger because they're not paying attention. They're going too fast, or they're not like paying attention to what the fuck they're doing. And when you're cutting a 600 pan of onions with a knife and you have your hand like that with a cut glove, like, dude, it's not the proper way to go about it because it's not safe, right? I'm not telling you that you have to do this and you have to do that. What I am going to show you is like, hey, let me show you, because guess what? You're always going to remember that. And when you go into a real kitchen, right? Not a fast food kitchen, a real kitchen. You're going to be like, oh, wait, I remember he told me this. Like, dude, that's all I wanted when I was a young cook. That's all I fucking wanted. Bro, like, how many times did you learn something from somebody and it was fucking trash, right? Like
100, like all the time. Can we talk about like the first time I went to like a French restaurant? They're like, what the fuck do you do with the butter? What? You take it off the heat? What? You need to put it in cold? Huh? Since when? Yo, I had no fucking clue. Felt like fish out of water. I'm just like, what the? Okay, just give me 2 seconds to process. Let me learn this. Okay, show it to me. I have no idea. I'm flying blind. So please let me know. So I think that's the most important part. Just have an open mind, and it's not just one or the other. That's literally it. Dude, and don't be butthurt when people say, "I want my noodles this way." I could care less. You paid for it. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I like listen, man. I think that's great. I think that's great, man. I think what we should address more videos like this and be more encouraging and educating, because I think a lot of these missed opportunities are learning opportunities, and we need to spread more positivity, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man, that video I couldn't even respond to it, man, because it just pissed me off, and I don't want to say anything that's gonna get me in trouble. Not that it's gonna get me in trouble, but just that like
no, but you get heated. You feel it, like you're passionate about. If I see somebody stepping on noodles, I get passionate. You know what I'm saying? So, but am I gonna take my time to to like fully process it, yeah, maybe, but I'm not gonna bash on it, you know, or maybe I would. Depends which case you get.
That's okay. But like we all the people that know you, we know that you have a good heart. You're not like
Yeah.
Negative for any reason. Or
Yeah,
any,
yeah.
Like not malicious, I would say.
Hmm. But
Yeah.
at least I get them to get talking. I think that's the important part. You know,
Yeah.
it is. You can tell it's satire. I hope so. Like I put it in my face. You know,
Well, you're poking
I'm
and
joking.
prodding. You're poking. And
No,
prodding. That's
I know. I'm just like, well.
But it's good. It's good to bring up controversial topics because a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I think we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Like,
All
I'm
the
not
time.
like, dude, I'm not scared. Like, listen, if Google were to create a video that's saying like, no, this technique sucks. This is boom, boom, boom. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at him, right?
Yeah.
Because
It's
like,
okay.
all of it is
Cool.
subjective. And like, listen, from my standpoint as a chef that runs restaurants, right? Like, okay. So, okay, it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm like, there's no like, just because he's a home cook and just because I'm a chef doesn't make any of us better than each other. You know what I'm saying? Just because I have a different opinion on how to cook sous vide than he does, he cooks sous vide at the house. He cooks for people, but like for me, I do it in a restaurant, right? So as a chef, I'm going to do different things than he would. That's totally fine. And guess what? He called me before he was going to create the video. He's like, "Hey, I got your number from Matt. Like I wanted to talk to you about this." And like, dude, it's totally cool, man. Like, even if he disagreed, I wouldn't be upset about him. And that's what I think that more people need to understand. Like, just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you need to be hateful. Or if you have a different opinion on how something's done, like it's fine to disagree. It's almost better. I think confrontation leads to results.
Yeah, and you think better. Right? So, I never thought about it that way. Let me try it this. Let's try it that way. Great. Yeah. If the end product is even better, bro, we both win. Yeah. And that's the whole purpose of it.
And so it's great because like, I think with Google, I'm going to show them a couple techniques, that I learned sous vide that I keep close to my heart. One of them was that the chuck roast, man. That video almost has a mil views, and
I mean, bro, it looks phenomenal. I've never, again, I don't eat red meat. So it doesn't really, it didn't really do it for me. I'm just like, wow.
So what's funny is I love how people in the comments, like they just completely ignorant to, I can't respond to all of them. Okay. I can't.
I know. It's a lot.
It's usually the first 24 hours and then I'm done. But like people are so oblivious and ignorant to the fact that you can only achieve this sous vide. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. They're like, look, I got people in the comments like, I could easily smoke this. This could be easily smoked at a low temperature for 24 hours. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, guy. And then you guys, well, this
it doesn't go low enough.
You can't put it. Well, it's not that it won't go low enough. It's that it won't be the consistent temperature. And
that's what I mean.
It will be like beef jerky, bro. Trust me.
Yeah. Because time and temperature is such a thing when we're cooking.
Yeah. And people don't realize this. I'm like, no, you can only achieve this texture, this right here, this perfect edge to edge mid rare with tender meat. By
tender.
This steak, like you can't take this chuck roast and put it in the oven at 135 degrees. You know what you're gonna have? You're gonna have rotten food in the next day. You're gonna have rotten food or beef jerky.
It doesn't go that way
because there's not enough moisture. You cannot put this on a smoker for 24 hours. You will not yield the same result. It will be so accurate. You don't even put a brisket on the fucking smoker for 24 hours. Like, get real, my guy. And it's funny because like. Yes, this texture and this temperature, you could try and you would get something completely different, right? You could try to mimic a steamer setup, but like, you would have to use an induction at a precise temperature. I wouldn't boil it, but you could try and mimic it with the crock pot or something by like flipping it every couple hours or something. But at the same time, you would just be
defeats the purpose.
Way too much work. And like I'm telling you right now, this chuck roast at 24 hours at that certain degree, it's a perfect environment.
What was the weight on the chuck? I didn't even, I forget.
I didn't get the weight, but I think it was like 4 or 5 pounds. It really depends. Like,
that's what I was like. It looked like a 5-pounder.
Yeah. And the reason why I like doing this, Casey, is because like it gives you a texture of like a ribeye, but the beefiness of a short rib or beefiness of like
a brisket. Like it gives you that beefy. And then if you have to cut it properly because there's so many muscles like that are different. You have
Going
to
the
cut it
other way,
different.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's really delicious, man. And it's funny because I just recently did that for a tasting, and it was so funny to see people's minds just like, what?
They're like, what? This is a
This
chuck?
is a chuck roll? What? I'm like, yeah.
Say
this
what?
is it.
Yeah.
And I would argue to use a grass-fed chuck roll because you have so much more beefier flavor, and it's even if it's super super lean, like that low temperature really works for lean meats.
Yeah. I know all about it. I specialize in low and slow cooking in the water specifically, right?
Yeah.
You know how many comments I got on the tonkotsu, the broth? They're like, why is it so milky? How's it so white? How did you get it like that? Because it started literally brown. Like you can see the brown specks on it, and it literally reduced by 3/4. It's an emulsification that you have to babe it.
Do you use fat back or do you use the pork belly?
So check this out. Here's the craziest that I'll share with you the secret, right? So you start with.
Let me tell you my secret first.
Okay.
I like to use regular American smoked bacon, diced.
Oh, okay.
Brunoise.
Okay.
Brunoise, and then I puree.
Okay.
It. That smoky flavor.
That's
smoky cured flavor.
That's smoky.
Fucking different level, dude.
Smoky, yeah. If I want to do smoky, I think I might do that. That's an interesting thing. Okay, so the current belly that I get, that goes into the stock, just the pure fat, right?
Okay.
It gets all rendered down in 4 hours, but the key is, bro, your brain's gonna go in a second. Chicken Jew.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Just think about it for a sec. Just think about it. Chicken.
Do you not put chicken bones with the pork bones, or you use chicken stock?
So I put the feet. But it's not enough. But when you put the good schmaltz, bro, like gloss, my G.
Lip gloss. That's what I like. Whenever I'm eating tonkatsu, man, I'm getting some ramen tonight, bro. You inspired me, bro.
So chicken Jew is my secret.
I usually eat noodles or rice with like fucking every meal, dude.
Yeah.
Like when people like, I'm so sorry, but like I'm not a big fan of potatoes like other Americans.
Yeah, I don't like potatoes either.
I think I hate.
You sure you're not Asian?
Yo, I fucking love Asian cuisine, man. I fucking love it. Vietnamese cuisine.
I know you do.
I love it. I can't wait to go. I want to go and like explore, but and plus Japan does it so well. They're so careful about their product. They take such good care of things. It's just like fucking different level, man. There's different levels, man. And I hate to say it, but like if you go to a restaurant, like we most have like potato French fries and potatoes, mashed potatoes, roasted potatoes. But like, dog, I would order rice or noodles in a heartbeat before I order potato.
All day.
But
all day, every day.
Do you have a side of mashed potatoes?
I know.
For your
No.
Yeah. Well, you probably call them pumpkin puree, right?
Yeah. Aligu, the other one, so it's like nice and.
I love aligo potatoes, man, but I'll shit my pants, bro. Straight up.
No, I know. I can't do that cheese. I cannot do that cheese. So the Negi oil actually is gaining some traction. I just want to explain. I don't think people understand. I had a lot of DMs actually from like other mutuals. It's like why did you let it rest room temperature for 12 hours? So the secret in extracting after you've charred the fuck out of the process that you've done, let it sit room temp so the small specks can release.
Yeah.
You don't need much. You just need a little bit so it can disperse in it, and then take one whole stalk of the whatever allium that you burnt and just blend it. But you don't want to puree because you would incorporate air. Oh. Just enough so it breaks up. Let it sit. It will do its thing, I promise. Like have you ever just like put a raw onion or garlic into oil? Mm-hmm. Check it the next day and there's like sud on the top. Same exact purpose with the burnt stuff. It just releases slowly into the oil, and that's the purpose of the letting it sit overnight, and then you keep it under refrigeration for 2 weeks. And it gives it's so powerful.
If you have to blend anything that you don't want too much air into, if you have a vacuum machine, you could vacuum it out like easily.
Oh, I wish I had a vacuum machine, man.
Oh, you don't have it? Yes, man. You're fucking old school, man. And he doesn't want to put any more money back into that restaurant, huh?
Nah. It literally I don't want to say dying, but it's been 25 years with the same equipment. There's nothing going into it. Just this is it.
Yeah,
This is it, bro. Yeah.
That sucks, man.
So just a little bit of old school techniques, a little process, a lot of babying. You have to take note of the temperature inside the room itself, etc. But once you get it all processed, again, I'm the only fucking employee, so I know how to baby all of this. It's fine. But
why do you have to take the room the temperature?
If it spikes to 90 degrees, let's say it's like during the summer, your cool down time cuts in half. So instead of 12 hours, 6 hours, then into the fridge right away. Because then it will start to go over body temp, and then you will introduce the sour notes a little too much. I don't want the sour. I just want the burnt allium flavor. It's quite nice. I had Brendan just try the straight oil. His face, I can't mimic it enough. He was just like, what? Why does it taste like this? I don't understand. Why does it taste so much like scallions? Or it's just a little dab of oil that went into the noodles. And he's like, what is going on? I was like, yeah, thank you. That's the best compliment I can ever receive. You don't even have to say anything. I saw it in your face. That's it.
Yeah, that's the best feeling as a chef, man. Getting that. It's amazing.
Anyway, I share all the secrets.
No.
I know. Yeah, I'll wrap it up. If you want to learn the ramen ways, I'm more than happy to share with you. Stop by. Like, I'll teach you the stuff. I really will. But just note, I will put you to work.
Facts.
You're coming in. You're working for a bowl. You're doing stuff, and then you're gonna get fed, and then we'll go with the process. Other than that, though, lots of ventures on both of our ends. I know Brandon will release more of the info on his end. But
I'm so excited.
It's always and. It's not just black white. But always meet in the middle. Be
It's not
open-minded.
or, it's and. Yeah.
Thank you.
I like that.
This should be our next thing. It's not or and. Yeah. All right, people. That's all we got. Other than that, though.
Peace.